Hello there. This is Cool Mike from MJF Wrestling and Other Things. Today I'm going to focus more on other things. It was Canada Day this weekend, so which meant we got the Monday off. Now, how did Mikey spend the Monday? He called up his buddy Killer, and Killer's girlfriend Neve, and we went down to Jericho Beach, and we drank a copious amount of neutrals. Yeah, neutrals. I look like a beer guy. But I enjoy myself a good day of being neutral drunk. It's not as sugary, you don't feel it the next day so much, and it's kind of a cleaner buzz. When I drink beer, I drink way too much fucking beers. I love the beer buzz, I love the taste of beer, but the next day, beer does not like me so much. I end up knocking down fucking Big Macs and all that shit at the end of my beer buzz when I'm trying to call it a day. So, fucking happy Canada Day to me. I end up going to bed around like 8:30 at night. I didn't even watch the fireworks. Like we have a big fireworks thing here for Canada Day, and I think all across Canada in the bigger cities they have like fireworks day, fireworks on whatever. And yeah, I didn't even stay up for that. I was like crashing hard at around 8:39, which is good because I needed it. And I woke up, went to work the next day, and on the Tuesday, man, we went and watched Spiderman Far From Home around like 1 or something. Definitely caught the early show. Cut off work pretty early to go watch fucking Spider-Man. Was it worth it? I'm gonna quote a great man, Cesar Argento. He came up with this. Spider-Man Far From Home is Spider-Man far from good. And I agree with that, to a certain extent. We are not high school students. That movie was geared towards high school students. There was a lot of like high school humor involved, which at the beginning was fine. I laughed at a couple things because I remember what it was like to be in high school, kind of. I glorify my high school days. Like, I was like, cool shit. This is like, nowadays I'd be like, maybe a C+ player in fucking high school. But I thought I was like an A+ player. I knew everybody, but it was only a high school of like 300 fucking people. So how could you not? Half of them I was related to. It was like a small town high school, man. Like second, third cousins and shit. Like in the city, nobody knows what a second or third cousin is. They're just like, hey, it's a cousin, right? But where I come from, you have to know who your second or third cousins are because you don't want to end up dating them. When I was in grade 6, I went out with my third cousin, and I came home and my grandma was there, and I'm like, hey grandma, I met this great girl, grade 6, great girl, whatever. She was pretty. She had blonde hair, blue eyes. You know, that was pretty back when you're in grade 6. And she's like, oh, what's her name? I told her. And she's like, Graves? That's my last name, Michael. I was like, ooh. So, yeah. So, like, high school, whatever. So, it was mainly a high school show. High school movie. Which is good, you know, it's good for high school. Like, if I was in high school, I would have eaten it up, you know. The action was okay, you know, the visual effects, all pretty cool. Just didn't really gear towards us at all. The end credits, wasn't a big fan once all the end credits came down. And the last scene, the Marvel kind of gears you up for the next movie. I was like, meh, whatever. I don't think this next phase of Marvel is going to be as good as the last two phases. But, like, what other surprises are they going to throw at us? I think we have one more Guardians movie. And then I think that's it for Guardians, and that's the only thing I'm really looking forward to. They might, because I think they have the rights for X-Men, so maybe they'll do something cool with the X-Men. I was a big fan of the X-Men when I was younger. I loved the TV show, the cartoon. It came on before the Gargoyles. I liked those two when I was younger. I'd always like wake up early to watch those guys. And yeah, that used to be my ringtone for a while. I used to, I'd hook up with a chick and like our code word would be like X-Men Season 2 is on Netflix, come over, kind of deal. It was fun. So yeah, if they do some of the X-Men, maybe I'll stay tuned. But I'm kind of losing my interest in the whole Marvel thing. The last two Avengers, like I don't know how you can get any better than that. But with Endgame, with the Avengers Endgame, I think they kind of copped out by doing the time travel thing. But how else are you gonna do it? How else are you gonna beat Thanos? He's like unstoppable. And then Thanos comes in after they get the time travel, and he doesn't have any of the stones, and you can just see how powerful he is. Like it takes all the Avengers to even fucking put a dent in his armor, you know. So there's that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like hopefully they can build some kind of thing with the new Spider-Man dude, and then have him go up against Venom, which is Tom Hardy in the future. I don't think those two worlds are gonna intermingle anytime soon, because as it is right now, Spider-Man is like bubblegum, and Venom is like Jameson's whiskey. You gotta build Spider-Man up to Jameson's whiskey to kind of get those two crowds together. That's all I'm saying about that. And I think Deadpool's coming out too, which I like Deadpool, but I don't really consider that part of like the Marvel universe. It's kind of like its own little thing, in my opinion. I know people, you're gonna come at me, whatever. Come at me, motherfucker. It's just a little bit more vulgar and fucking cool than everything's going on in the Marvel universe. So that's that on that. I don't know how I got onto like talking about Marvel and going like the third phase or third or fourth. I don't know which phase it is. But I definitely went on a rant about that. But going back to like superhero movies, like my favorite superhero movie was the first Batman. Because I had ties to that. I often ask people, like, what, and this kind of like judges, and it judges on when you grew up. So I asked folks, like, what's your favorite Batman? Like mine was the first one, done by Tim Burton, and it had Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and Kim Basinger in it. I thought that movie was the fucking shit. I still think it's the shit to this day. I think that Jack Nicholson's Joker is the best Joker. I think it was the best embodiment of Joker that was on screen. Sure, the Heath Ledger one was, it was dark and it was cool, but when you look at like the comics or you look at like the TV shows or like the Joker, it's more Jack Nicholson is like the Joker. Heath Ledger is just like a certain part, like the Dark Knight, But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. When I was younger, we did a yard sale because I was in grade 3, so we're around 8 years old. We did a yard sale to raise money to go see Batman in the theaters. We didn't have the best toys to sell at the yard sale, but we were like pushing, like we were like little salesmen. Like we were running around. Oh, hey, you sure you don't want a spatula? I'm pretty sure they don't need a spatula, but like we're trying to sell the shit to people. Hustling in grade 8 to go watch Batman. We didn't sell one thing. Like my parents didn't sell one thing. We didn't sell anything, any of our toys, me and my brother, and then we had two other children in the neighborhood that was trying to sell some shit too. None of us sold anything. My parents, being the good parents that they are, they locked us up in the car, brought us in the car, and they took us to the old drive-in, which a lot of you probably don't know about drive-ins. Yeah, you drive there and you pay, I think like $15. Probably at the time it was like $5, and you could watch 3 movies. The problem with that is, so we're there. I think Police Academy was one of the movies. And we sat through, like I sat through the first 2 movies just to get to Batman, because Batman was on like at night, like 9 o'clock. Well, the rest of the kids, they zonked out during the second movie. So we did all this work to try to watch Batman. And the rest of the guys fucking zonk out before Batman even comes on. I remember staying up and seeing about a half an hour of it. The part where Bruce Wayne holds the benefit is like a casino, and he's videotaping Commissioner Gordon talking to Harvey Dent, and that is as far as I got, and I passed out. But I love the movie. I used to steal like my parents' garbage bags and make Batman costumes. My mom's like, she got wise to the shit. She's like, she'd hear me sneaking in the kitchen. You better not be stealing those fucking garbage bags. I was stealing those garbage bags because like I didn't quite perfect my costume the first time I stole the 4 garbage bags. So I had to go steal 4 more garbage bags. But yeah, definitely good memories about old Batman. That was my favorite comic book movie because it's here. There's a lot that I do like. Like I do like the comic book stuff. But then there's stuff is like, what does it really need to be made? Like Ant-Man, I really didn't think that Ant-Man was good, but I think that it kind of delved into like the last Avengers movie, so I guess it did need to be made. But I didn't enjoy it. I didn't go watch it, and I watched it like on Netflix or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I could have very well not watched it. Wouldn't have been a thing. The worst superhero movie, well, from Marvel that was made was Thor 1 and 2, I think. Wasn't a big fan of that. And then they incorporated Thor that actually had like a sense of humor in 3, which made it tolerable. So yeah, that's just like me fucking ranting about that shit. But yeah, besides that, I played VR. I went to one of my buddy's place and I played VR on the computer. And it's cool. Like really, really cool. But it gives you a headache real quick. Like when you're spinning like this, like your brain can't comprehend. Like your eyes not really seeing it. Like it's like your brain can't get it. It just doesn't get it. My buddy told me if I smoked a little weed, it would have made it better. But I was like, nah, I don't really feel like getting high right now. So I didn't. But I played about 10 minutes. Like there's a survivor game and you're chopping. But then you gotta like spin around the tree and chop here. But even just like the spinning around the tree, I was getting a headache. So it's just one of those, you have to get used to it. But yeah, no, it's cool seeing him. I haven't seen him in like 3.5, 4 years, something like that. Chad, shout out to you, buddy. Still cool as fuck, and never really changed. I don't think any of us really have. Maybe a couple wrinkles here and there, but besides that, we're all about the same. And then Friday, I watched like this. I went to a friend's place and we watched this like New Zealand movie. It was made in New Zealand. I forget what it's called, but it's like a time traveling movie, or like they push a button and then it creates like another dude. I'm really not selling it. It's a pretty good movie, but if I could only remember what it was called. And we watched it with the dude who was from New Zealand, so I was asking him about a million questions about this movie and the place where they shot it. He's been there and all that crap. And he's giving me the answers as best as he could because he's only there for a little bit. Apparently, this is like a shithole town, kind of like Ingersoll, Ontario. If y'all familiar with Ingersoll, Ontario, I like to call it the armpit of Ontario. One of them. The other one to me is Brantford. Both of us kind of like just kind of have that armpit feeling. A little bit of a smell, and if you work too hard, if the city works too hard, they kind of smell a little more because all the pollution. But yeah, whatever. I'm an asshole, in a way. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call this a day on the video. Don't forget to sponsor, like, and subscribe. And if you have any comments, leave them. Once again, I always end with this: like, we're always trying to get better, right? We're always trying to get better. Frank and myself, we just started this about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So any kind of input would be great. But don't be like, dude, you're a piece of shit, fucking shave your beard, or like, man, like fucking you, I can smell you through the camera, like shit like this. Like, come on. I know I need a shower every once in a while. It adds to my mystique, or my mistink. It just adds to Mike being cool Mike. Because cool people don't give a fuck if they wash or not. Man, like you look at like Kurt Cobain, do you think that guy showered much? Nah, man. His fucking hair is greasy as shit. But that added to the coolness of fucking Kurt Cobain. Anyhow, y'all have a good day. And if you guys see Homecoming, just if you see it and you think differently, just send me a message down there. I'll read it. Ciao.